saying cuss words, guys!
Well, I guess that's it. I'm gonna be thrown in jail and only be fed vegetables for the rest of my life, never to see the light of day again. First, the horny jail, and now this. At this rate, we'll be throwing poor people into prison for being in poverty. Today's a dark day for humanity. The world has truly lost its way. Bad words, otherwise known as swear words, curse words, cuss words, expletives, profanity, vulgar language, or an instant smack with the chinelas. Ever since we were kids, we were taught not to say words like f*** or sh**. Nevertheless, you hear these words everywhere. I can just turn a corner in my neighborhood, and if there are people outside conversing, chances are I may hear a curse word or two. But what if I told you that bad words aren't really bad? Vsauce music.
No! God, please, no!
As a matter of fact though, the Vsauce channel already did a video on bad words, which if you haven't watched, please do, as it is very informative and insightful. But I don't want to discuss why these bad words came to be bad, but rather discuss why these words aren't. If you think about it, on the surface, bad words don't really have much bad in them. In fact, saying these words can sometimes be beneficial to our mental well-being by helping you cope with stress or relieve pain. Words like the S word and the F word don't have a truly vulgar or bad meaning in and of themselves. They're just perceived as bad. There are a plethora of different words synonymous to the S word, such as poop, crap, dung, and feces, among others. Same goes for the F word, sex, intercourse, and copulation. These are all words that basically mean the same thing, but are not considered as vulgar. Sure, the topic at hand may be considered taboo, but if the other words aren't considered as bad, despite the similar meaning, why should we exclude these other words? That's discrimination. You may think I'm joking when I say this, which I am, but not really. As Michael mentioned, the infamy of some of these curse words seemed to originate from class division. The lower class people were the ones using these now vulgar words, therefore they were seen as low class words by the upper class back then, thus becoming taboo and vulgar. And if you are to think about it, that is kinda like word discrimination. And in a world where we aim to unite in spite of the class divide, the discrimination of these words is a violence. But wait a second, how about the N-word or the F-slur? Aren't these bad words too? Does that mean these words aren't bad either? Well, unlike the previous words that did not inherently mean anything bad, these words do. They are offensive and discriminatory towards the people and groups of people they describe, thus making them bad. These kinds of words are an exception, as the meaning of these words are inherently negative and harmful. If you watched the Vsauce video I mentioned earlier, you'd know that among the 5 classifications he mentioned, this falls under abusive swearing. However, we should realize that the words themselves aren't the bad, but rather the meaning or meanings that are attached to them, which by proxy make them bad. In fact, any word or language that is meant to attack, insult, or bring down another person in any way can fall under this type of swearing depending on the context. Stupid, in the context of calling an outrageous situation downright stupid, would be more acceptable compared to calling another person stupid due to their less capable mental faculties. Anyway, 5 classifications of swear words are a bit much if you think about it. I think they can be more easily generalized into 2 types. Words that mean bad and words that don't. Words that mean bad involve any slurs or insults that can be used and are used to verbally abuse or marginalize people, i.e. abusive swearing. Meanwhile, the words that don't mean bad can be emphatic, dysphomistic, idiomatic, or cathartic, which are not and cannot be used to attack others or hurt others through language. However, there's one thing that I've been avoiding this entire time, because introducing this one element can completely rock the boat. That's right, religion. If we factor in religion, the morality of every action is no longer weighed in accordance with only earthly principles, but also with heavenly doctrines. So although the bad words technically pass according to our earthly standards, this may not be something that Big J Jesus would be happy with. So real quick, let's see what the Bible has to say. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. To put it simply, don't talk shit. If you want to say something, it better be for the betterment of the listener. Now, using that criteria, let's evaluate swearing. To no one's surprise, abusive swearing immediately fails. But here's something interesting. Using swear words for emphasis or to exclaim don't technically qualify as corrupt language. After all, considering them as corrupt language requires us to presuppose that the words themselves are bad in the first place, which creates somewhat of a logical paradox. Now, the second part is where it gets tricky. Does the swearing really end up bettering the listener? Not really? Does this therefore make it bad? It's complicated, as it is kind of a gray area, and I don't know how black and white religion can be. It may not be corrupt language, but it's not exactly bettering anyone either. So what now? Is the not inherently bad swearing bad or not? From an objective point of view, still no, but I personally cannot give a truly definitive answer. First and foremost because I'm an idiot and I don't know much on the religious scriptures, but also because I don't know what God would consider bad or not. I mean, it's not like God wrote a list of the forbidden words under the 10 Commandments. And even after evaluation, these words don't seem bad. If at the end of the day God deems them as such, there ain't anything you can do about it. If you're a religious person, don't swear, I guess, just to be safe. At the end of the day, it's ultimately up to you to decide whether or not you want to swear, and whether it be because of preconceived notions already sown within you or your fear of God. If you don't want to swear, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. On the other hand, if you agree with my points and my perspective, then go ahead, run your mouth all you want, as long as the swears you use are not of the bad variety. But I hope this gives you a new perspective or a good insight about swearing and why these infamous bad words may not be as bad as you think. This has been Red, signing off. Thanks for watching.